Are you ready? Imagine one day you open your laptop, run a gigantic AI model with trillions of parameters, and never worry about your electricity bill exploding. What if all the computing power for AI no longer lived on Earth? What if massive data centers were lifted into orbit, soaking up sunlight 24/7, zero emissions, no limits, and beaming data back to Earth faster than light hits a telescope? This is no longer science fiction. This is the off-planet cloud revolution exploding across international headlines right now. Let's dive into how space data centers could power unlimited AI without draining Earth's energy grid. First, we need to grasp the real crisis down here on the ground. A single modern data center consumes as much electricity as a small city. NVIDIA predicts that by 2030, AI models alone will swallow 8% of global electricity. Microsoft, Google, and Amazon are building their own nuclear power plants just to feed the cloud. Yet it's still not enough, because terrestrial solar power is crippled by night weather and panels that only reach 22% efficiency. Now picture orbit. Sunlight is constant, unfiltered by atmosphere, and 40% more intense. 1 square meter of solar panel in space generates up to 10 times more power than on Earth. Zero gravity means no heavy support structures. Servers can be cooled passively by radiating heat straight into the cosmic void. No fans, no water, no cost. In 2024, the European Space Agency unveiled Project SOLARIS. The plan: launch clusters of servers weighing thousands of tons into low Earth orbit by 2030. Each cluster spans square kilometers, covered in ultra-thin graphene solar sheets. Harvested energy is beamed back via microwave or laser with up to 80% efficiency, almost zero waste. But how does data move that fast? That's where photonics takes the stage. Caltech scientists have already demonstrated 100 Gbps transmission over 1,000 kilometers in space. Soon, orbital optical links will deliver latency as low as 20 milliseconds, faster than today's transatlantic fiber cables. Imagine you're in Hanoi, training a 100 trillion parameter model. The actual server floats 500 kilometers above the Pacific, yet it feels like it's running in the next room. Swiss company Ascent is developing 1U-cube servers that weigh just 1.2 kilo, yet pack 128 next-gen GPUs. 1,000 of them form a cube farm drifting in orbit, self-assembled by robots, self-repaired by AI. At end of life, they deorbit and burn up cleanly. No space junk. Now let's talk cost. Listen closely. SpaceX's Starship is about to drop launch prices to $10 per kilogram. In 2019, it was $3,000. By 2030, it could hit 2 kilos. That means a 1,000-ton data center costs just $2 million to loft into space, cheaper than building one in the Nevada desert. And it runs for 15 years with zero energy bills. But one project is even crazier. U.S. startup Lumen Orbit just raised $2.3 billion to launch the first true space data center in 2027. They're using new perovskite panels that hit 45% efficiency in vacuum, paired with Intel's 3D photonic chips. A single $10 million cluster can train an AE 100 times larger than GPT-4 in just 48 hours. On Earth, that would take months and tens of millions in electricity. China isn't sitting idle. They announced the Space Great Wall, a network of 10,000 data center satellites by 2035. Each satellite carries 50 kilowatt of solar power. Total capacity equals 40 nuclear plants. Zero carbon. India, Japan, and the UAE are racing too. This isn't just a space race anymore. It's an energy race for the future. But wait, there's something even wilder hiding behind the headlines that nobody is talking about yet. Have you ever wondered who will actually own the sky? Because once these orbital data centers go live, the company that controls the most solar panels in space controls the entire AI economy. We're talking about a new kind of geopolitical power measured not in oil barrels or rare earth metals, but in kilowatt hours per second harvested 500 kilometers above your head. Goldman Sachs already published a secret 47-page report calling it the orbital OPEC. They predict that by 2040, 3 megacorporations will own 78% of all off-planet computing cycles. And governments are panicking. The United Nations just held an emergency session in Geneva last month titled Prevention of an Arms Race in Outer Space, Data Center Annex. Because here's the scary part. A single space data center the size of a football field can perform more calculations per second than every supercomputer on Earth combined in 2025. That's raw strategic power. One software update pushed from orbit could outthink entire nations. That's why the US Space Force quietly classified all orbital data center blueprints under the same level as nuclear launch codes. Meanwhile, Russia just tested a ground-based laser capable of blinding solar panels in low orbit. They call it Peresvet 2. China responded by deploying mysterious inspection satellites that can get within 10 meters of any foreign object. Everyone knows what that really means. But let's flip the script, because this isn't just about war or trillionaires. This is about saving the planet in ways nobody saw coming. Right now, AI training produces more CO2 than the entire airline industry. Every time you generate a deepfake video or ask ChatGPT a silly question, you're burning coal somewhere in Virginia. Move that workload to orbit, and the carbon footprint drops to literally zero. A study from MIT says if we migrate just 30% of global AI compute to space by 2035, we slash humanity's emissions by 9%. That's the same as removing every car from Europe overnight. And the waste heat? On Earth, it cooks cities. In space, it just disappears into the 3 Kelvin background of the universe. Forever. Now, here's where it gets personal. Imagine your phone never needs charging again, because it's not running the AI locally. It's just a dumb glass slab talking to a server that bathes in endless sunlight. Your AR glasses? Same. Your self-driving car? Same. Your future brain implant? You guessed it. All powered by data centers that orbit Earth 16 times a day, sipping starlight like cosmic vampires. And the best part, no more rate limit exceeded messages. Because capacity is no longer measured in megawatts, it's measured in square kilometers of sunlight, and there are 5 or 10 million square kilometers up there, empty, waiting. Elon Musk already filed FCC paperwork for 100,000 Stardata satellites, each one a mini data center the size of a pizza box. Total surface area, larger than Manhattan. Jeff Bezos is designing reusable orbital tugs that can refuel and upgrade servers without bringing them home. Blue Origin calls them Space FedEx trucks. And get this, NASA just signed a $400 million contract with a startup called Axiom Orbit to build the first AI refuge station, a place where scientists can upload consciousness backups in case things go wrong down here. They're calling it the ultimate off-site backup, literally off the planet. But the craziest project of all comes from an anonymous group on X. They leaked schematics for something called Project Looking Glass, a ring of 400 mirror satellites in geostationary orbit that reflects sunlight onto a single mega data center floating above the equator. Constant noon, constant power, constant computation. The leaked documents claim it could run every AI model ever created simultaneously, forever, for free. And here's the final twist that will keep you up tonight. All of this becomes possible the moment Starship flies 100 times per year. That's not 2050, that's 2028, 3 years from now. The first commercial space data center is already bolted inside Starship SN-32, waiting at Boca Chica. Launch date, March 17, 2026. Ticket price for one rack of GPUs, $180,000, cheaper than a Lambo, and it pays for itself in 4 months. Did you know 1 hour of sunlight hitting near-Earth space contains enough energy to power humanity for an entire year? We only need to harvest 0.01% of it. Space data centers are the fastest way to make that real. So next time someone says AI will burn through Earth's power grid, just smile and tell them to look up. Because the future of computing isn't underground anymore. It's floating right above our heads, waiting for the day artificial stars ignite the era of limitless AI. The AI singularity isn't coming because we suddenly got smarter. It's coming because we're about to plug the entire internet into the sun, directly. No middleman, no power company, no government approval required. Just pure, endless cosmic electricity. The age of scarcity is over. The age of abundance begins at 28,000 kilometers per hour. Look up. Your new computer is already watching you from the sky, and it's smiling.